I think we can all say this was a beautiful, beautiful film. So thank you for making it. I heard a lot of, especially in the audience, and I think it touched on a lot of people. What, I mean, besides the obvious, what is the inspiration for this? Because I know lately when African-American movies have been done about funerals, it's always been funny. Death at a Funeral, and I've drawn a blank on the last movie Chris Rock did. But it's always been like a funny farce. But you decided to touch on some real emotional things. Why?
Because funerals aren't funny, and grief is a real thing, and I've never really seen it portrayed too much in African-American cinema. There's a great film called Ballast that kind of deals with grief, but I just, it was a personal story. All the names and facts have been changed, but all the characters represent the women in my family. And so May is not just me, May is a combination of my sisters. Fran is not just any one person in particular, it's all of our personalities. All of the 5 women in my family have said some of those words at one time or another to each other. So it was just kind of a way to tell our story and to just really explore what happens in our community when we lose someone. When I say our community, I mean specifically what to do with like a black family grieving. And so, I don't know, I just found that interesting. Not a great answer, but...
No, it's beautiful. So tell us about how this film came apart, how you started it, because apparently, you were telling me earlier, you decided to make it between 2 jobs as a publicist.
Yeah. I try to act like I'm not a publicist, but everybody keeps bringing it up, so. I'm a publicist for other films. I'm a film publicist, so I publicize films. And I was in between Invictus for Clint Eastwood and Cop Out with Kevin Smith, and there was some time in between. And there was a big script that I had been trying to get off the ground for a while, and I was frustrated with it. I decided, I'm going to make something in that 3-month period with the $2.90 that I had. I had some lollipops we passed at Brown's. I mean, no one made anything, and everyone gave everything. And so, yeah, it was just a matter of a small amount of time and the desire just to make something, because at some point I have to make the transition from what I'm doing to what I want to do. And so you just have to stop and say, I'm going to do it now, I'm going to try. So, yeah, it was kind of not a rush job, but it was definitely an abbreviated time. I wrote the script, I started writing the script July 4th of last year. I finished it on my birthday, August 24th. We were shooting October 1st. So it was fast.
For each of the actors in the film, tell us how Ava got you to do this, as she said, for $2.
Aisha Coley called me up and invited me to come in, and I read the script, and actually the script to me was a breath of fresh air. It wasn't your typical black script that you see, and I thought it was just a different take on black family life, and the role really inspired me. And the fact that she's this beautiful black woman who has her own business that's been so successful and wanted to step out and follow her real dreams and just had the courage to do that. That was so inspiring to me. And I have so much respect for her for that. I really do.
Well, I get a call about 4 days before we started. And from my manager, he says, I have this wonderful project. It's no money, but I think you should definitely do it. It's beautiful. And me and Miss Ava met for coffee. And
you mad dog me the whole time.
I didn't know that's how I came off. I was sitting there with my arms crossed. Yeah. But you know, seeing the project, obviously knowing that she's going to shoot in a few days, literally, and going scared, honestly. Like, this is a lot to jump into in such a little amount of time. How do I prepare for this? How can I do justice? And Craig, my manager up there, he said, Sally, you can do this. You've been working, you can do this. You just have to get out of your head. It's one day at a time. And Miss Ava, I keep calling her. She was like, we need to rehearse. We need to rehearse. I said, I'm not going to be doing no rehearsals. We just gonna improv. What? was just a wonderful, wonderful piece. I was honored that she thought that I could do justice to it and that she gave me the opportunity. And it is, she kept downplaying, because this is my first time seeing it. And, oh, it's just this little thing, it's just this little thing. And I don't even know what to say. I'm just, thank you so much. Thank you for the opportunity. It's beautiful. Thank you.
Well, I think I came on like 2 days before production began. Yeah, right? Ava, actually, I knew about Ava, you know, from her former life. She don't want to talk about that life anymore, but I knew about her. Obviously, she was an extremely important person, and more specific, generally, and more specifically, being a double minority. And I just thought, my initial thought was just simply to support, but I had just broken my ankle on the motorcycle. I don't know, like maybe 3 weeks before Ava?
I think so.
It's like crazy. So I'm limping and trying to pimp as much as as much as I could in the project, but play it off at the same time. So I'm very close to Salli. Salli and I have known each other about 7 or 8 years, and so she hit me up, and Ava hit me up, and it was downtime for me, no pun intended. And I read the piece, and it read like a poem. I just thought it was really different. Like Salli said, she did downplay it. She was like, "Oh, it's just a little something. You'll come in 2 days. I'll feed you a couple pieces of chicken. You'll be all good." And I'm always hungry, so it worked out. And I was familiar with Michole's work, and obviously I didn't directly get to work with Blair Underwood, but you know, growing up as a young African American, you watch a couple people in film and in TV, and you know, for most of the brothers in the audience, it's Denzel Washington and Blair Underwood in the 80s, I guess. So I thought it was a big endeavor for her to take on in such a short period of time, and I thought, why not help out Salli with her first real big lead? And I thought she pulled it off fabulously. In addition, so I pass it on to the birthday boy.
So I'm kind of similar to Michole. I got a call from my manager, and he told me he had a great project he had read, and I had just stopped working literally that day. I had been filming, I think, 9 months, and I was like, okay, so let me go in. So I went in that day, met her. She was incredible. Her spirit was amazing. Aisha was cool. We kind of played with it. She gave me the script. She said, okay, go outside, like play around, come back in here. It took like 5 minutes. I was reading it. We came in, we had a ball. We played for like 10 minutes straight. She said, okay, that's good. Try this, try that, try this. And I loved her, and I loved the project. And I got a call, I think, like 3 weeks later. So I was like, oh, someone else got that. And they were like, you got it. And I was like, praise God. So I went in, did it, and had an amazing experience. I met Salli. We played around for a little bit, and had a blast. I feel like the experience was one I could have never paid for. The money was irrelevant because me and her had so many talks. We played around every day and laughed. All the laughing I did was very, very real. It was just such a blessing in disguise because there's so many little projects, or not say little projects, but things that get shied away from. And those are the ones that have all the heart. And those are the ones where you go every day so excited and so thankful to work with such a great group of people. And me being as young as I am, I look up to all of them, and I'm so proud to see her on Eureka and Dark Blue and see her commercials and see Ava doing her thing. It's like, there we go. There's I Will Follow.
Well, what brings you guys to indie films? Because in each of your own rights as the cast, you have stellar careers. I mean, I know you're just beginning, but you're on Glee, and that's huge. I can't wait to watch it on Tuesday. But what brings you to indie film, and how important is it to do independent films?
Well, a few years ago, I decided that I'm on this series, and I told my sort of team of people, I said on my off time, the only thing I really want you to do is find me some small films that will be going to festivals that I can really dig my teeth into. And they went out and found it, and And all of a sudden, I'm doing all these, you know, these really intimate, smaller films, and it's where you really get to do something, where you really get to act and show what you can do, and have people take you seriously, and you know. So that really, it was my mission, and you know, for all the younger people out here, if you set a goal and say you're going to do something and work, you know, hard towards it, you can get it done, and there you go.